In this video, you will find out everything you need to know about the income requirements for the marriage adjustment of status, and specifically, we will be talking about some nuances you need to know about Form I-864.
Hey there, and welcome to our channel.
My name is Margarita.
And my name is Dixon.
We make videos for people like ourselves who are going through marriage adjustment of status but aren't interested in hiring an immigration lawyer.
Our channel is meant to give you guys all the confidence you need to go through this process completely on your own.
So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you're always up to date.
So what is the Affidavit of Support, or Form I-864? This affidavit is required for most family-based immigrants to show that they have adequate means of financial support and that they are not likely to become a public charge.
Meaning, if you are applying for your spouse's green card, you need to show that you can financially support your spouse so he or she does not fall on welfare benefits.
When it comes to marriage adjustment of status, the U.S. citizen spouse will need to complete this affidavit of support and provide plenty of financial documents to the USCIS in order to prove that they qualify. So how do you know if you qualify?
The first step is to look at current poverty guidelines. For most of you, it will be just the two of you in your household, but if you aren't sure, you can always refer to the instructions of this form to see how to properly calculate your household size.
For the purposes of this video, let's assume that it's just the two of you. And if you aren't on active duty, then you must make $24,650 a year.
Two things we will say right away. First, this income has to be reflected on your taxes from last year.
And second, your income generally has to be above the poverty guidelines, meaning although they are saying that you have to make $24,650, you do have to make more. But let's dive into these 2 points.
And by the way, do you have any specific affidavit of support questions? Maybe something you aren't sure about? Please drop whatever questions or comments you have under this video.
The biggest issue that we see with the affidavit of support has to do with situations where the U.S. sponsor does make enough income currently, but did not make enough last year.
And the interesting thing is that the USCIS expects to see this income on your last year taxes. So even if you do currently meet the income requirement, but you didn't make enough money on your last year's taxes, the USCIS will issue an RFE or request for evidence, and you will likely need a joint sponsor in that case.
For instance, let's imagine that your sponsor was a student last year, but that they just became a doctor and their current income is close to $200,000.
Even in a situation like this, the USCIS will most likely require a joint sponsor. So please always evaluate these numbers based on your taxes and know that you will need a joint sponsor in case your spouse doesn't qualify.
And that leads us to our second point, that generally your income has to be above the poverty guidelines, not just meet them. Wait, what?
We've seen a lot of cases over the years where the sponsor was very close to the line. They made barely above the poverty guidelines, and the USCIS actually ended up asking for a joint sponsor.
It makes literally no sense, but it is something that you need to know so that you're not surprised if it happens.
Again, if you're very close to the line, you have two options here. You can either supplement your income with assets, which you will find on Part 7 of the form, or you can submit all the documents needed for a joint sponsor right away to avoid any potential delays.
And here's another thing. Form I-864, or this income requirement, is what causes the most number of RFEs, or requests for evidence. So how do you avoid it?
Two things you need to do. First, you need to make sure that you fill out the form correctly. And second, you need to attach all the financial documents they're looking for.
But before we get into these in more detail, we invite you to apply to our marriage immigration method.
We guide you through every form in detail, including Form I-864. You will know right away if you need a joint sponsor, so you can ensure that everything is done correctly to have the best chance of getting through the USCIS on the first try.
Details are in the description below.
Filling out the form correctly seems very simple, but it's one of the most confusing USCIS forms ever, and couples make mistakes here all the time.
The biggest mistake we see is providing the wrong household size. So please make sure to double check yourself prior to submission. Again, always refer to those form instructions, no matter how confusing they might seem, and we've linked the instructions below.
But another important thing is including all the documents they're looking for. Generally speaking, the sponsor must attach their last year taxes, W-2 from last year as well, plus recent pay stubs, and a letter from the employer verifying income, which this last one isn't mandatory, but it's preferred if, again, you just want to avoid any potential delays.
We really hope that you found this video helpful.
Let us know if you have any questions in the comments.
Good luck with your green card application process.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and we will see you in our next video.